Hey guys, welcome back to the Foreign Crew podcast. Today, as you can see, me and Colton, we got maybe a little bit redder than the last podcast because we decided to
Yeah,
go
man.
golfing without any sunscreen on. So,
And a long sleeve shirt on my end.
yeah, not
That
on
was
my
that
end.
was not a smart
I don't
idea.
know if you can see it in the camera, but I'm not as burnt, but I was burnt.
Oh, I'm fucked.
Dom's
I'm
not with
brown.
us. Yeah, we're basically like
I'm,
Mateo today,
I'm brown.
but Dom's not with us again. But we have
Cheers.
first time guest, Mateo. How you doing today, Mateo?
Doing great today, man. Haven't
Dude,
seen you guys in a
this
long
is a
time.
podcast I've wanted to happen since the beginning, man.
Yeah,
I'm here now.
Colton's actually been talking about having you on.
I was like, dude, we gotta get Mateo on. We gotta get Mateo on.
Yeah, probably since like our first couple of guests, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see if Mateo can get on."
Because any like conversation I've ever had with this guy is either like really insightful or really just dumb. It only goes one of two ways.
That sounds a lot like
it's either
me.
mind blowing or what the fuck was that?
Yes.
So since I haven't seen you in a couple of years, probably a couple people on here haven't also. So what you been up to since basically high school? That's the last time I've seen you.
Well, after high school, got straight to it. Moved to Indianapolis. That didn't work out. Moved back here. Moved back here to Moments for a little while. Then I moved again to Kankakee. Now I'm here in the hood in Kankakee.
So what were you doing down in Indy?
Indianapolis, I was trying out my hand at a trade school. Turns out it was quite
Oh, you went to UTI?
No, I actually went to Lincoln Tech, and it was quite like a ripoff. I was pretty blown. Me and
Yeah,
Mark
dude,
were both
I'm so
blown.
glad I didn't go to that because I was supposed to go to the one in Rhode Island, the HVAC one, and I'm so glad I didn't travel halfway across the fucking country to
Yeah, you would've been
to learn
pretty
HVAC
upset.
when I can just learn it from my uncle if I wanted
So
to.
how
But
was it a ripoff?
Man, let me tell you, I actually got a KCC now. Went to for this past semester, the spring semester.
Yeah.
yeah,
And if you've ever been to KCC, those professors are 1,000 times better than the ones at Lincoln Tech, and that's probably saying a little bit. You know, it's a community college.
Yeah.
Are you doing the same? Are
Yeah.
you majoring in the same thing that you would have been like learning over there or not?
Nah, definitely not. I decided what's better for me and what I like, so I'm in computer graphic technology right now. I love
Sweet.
it. I love it so far, man. Love it.
That's actually
You could be the new editor for the podcast.
Yeah, for infographic show, if you ever heard about them, I've been learning a lot in Illustrator and stuff.
that's actually pretty
Sweet.
cool. Because when I switched to online school this semester and I switched from accounting and now I'm just strictly IT. So that's kind of cool actually. Yeah. Graphics.
Yeah.
That's kind of dope. So you moved from Indy to Moments, right?
Yeah, that was where that was where I was living during high school, and we lived there for another couple months before I moved back to Kankakee.
So why'd you decide to ditch Moments and go to Kankakee?
Well, our lease was up, man. You know, our lease was up, and we had to lose a dog. We'll get rid of her, like give her out to people. You know,
Yeah.
we're not
Yeah, man.
like loser.
Alrighty.
But yeah, living in the hood, rent free.
I mean,
Yes.
there's downsides.
Living in the
to
hood
that.
rent free.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, you should make that. You should make that the title of your biography. Living in the hood, rent free.
I mean, it's not so bad here. It's peaceful. I get to smoke outside. You know, have a good time.
I mean, speaking of smoking and basically on that side of the topic, we had Ben on last podcast, and Ben basically told us all about his little trips that he was having.
Yes, definitely. That was his side of the story, actually. You know, there's this taking acid. There's always going to be multiple sides of the story.
So
Let me
do
tell
you-
you that now.
Oh yeah.
Do you have a different side of that story than what Ben was telling?
Well, actually, I can actually recall one thing that he said. He said when he took that drag off of the dab pen, when I said
Yeah.
it looked like rainbows coming out of it, I gotta elaborate. It didn't look like directly rainbows. It looked like the smoke was just colorful, like
Yeah.
it looked like smoke still. It just wasn't like a direct
so it
rainbow.
didn't look like a cartoon where they were just throwing up like a rainbow.
Yeah,
It just looked
yeah.
because that's the way he made it sound like.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just wanted to elaborate too, because that's also how the clouds look. They look like there's just so much like a spectrum of color in the clouds. It's just amazing.
It's like when you spray water towards the sun and it makes like that rainbow thing.
Yeah, except it's everywhere in all the clouds, man. It's not even the visuals that gets you. It's the feeling that's in your entire body, down to your toes to the top of your head, bro.
So
It's
when you looked
amazing.
up, it was just all different colors, like the whole rainbow, basically.
Well, I want like you still see white and the blues in the sky, but yeah, you see the entire spectrum still.
That's trippy. Oh my god.
It's
kinda
it's
dope.
amazing too, because when you look at trees in the distance, say a tree line or something, those trees are spinning on you, like they're spinning, like, and it looks amazing, man. It's just I even got some more LSD up here, but that's for another time.
That's for the time that I go.
Yeah.
So on
Actually-
that trip with Ben, was there anything that he was maybe overdoing on it, like over fabricating, or was it?
What were you what do you call it speculative about?
So like he said you guys went from park to park, and then like when you guys were transferring from park to park, right before he hit your pen, he said he was going between like normal and then back and over, and then as soon as he hit that, he was fucking back into it.
Oh yeah, what he's talking about right there is thing is on LSD you got these sober moments, man. Like we call them sober moments because for a moment there you feel like everything's like in your sober like
So it's
mind,
like getting
everything's making
drunk.
sense.
It's like
Yeah.
getting drunk and you need to take another shot to like make you feel like you're still drunk.
Yeah, really. But thing is with acid it hits you out of nowhere and it comes back out of nowhere. That's why it's a little dangerous. But it's not dangerous, you just gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing is when we're going from park to park, the first time we went to the park when he was talking about the sidewalk looking like it was going forever and you guys were talking about the flat earthers,
Yeah.
he's actually not lying about that. We all see that. And it was crazy because we were actually walking on a hill, so the visuals and the hallucinations that we were seeing made it look like it was never ending, so it was kind of trippy right there. But
Yeah.
we weren't on the bench the entire time for 5 hours. We were
Okay,
actually
yeah, because I was gonna ask that. I was just because he made it sound like you guys were just staring sitting on a bench.
that's
So
actually
it was for a minute. It just wasn't for like 5 hours though.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you, man. It wasn't for 5 hours, but it was about an hour each time because Cobb Park is kind of big. There's multiple benches and like multiple views of the river and just trees and the tennis parks.
Yeah.
But thing is, Martin had this genius idea of just switching different benches so we have different visuals to look at. So we sat at a bench for say like 30, 45, maybe an hour each bench, and we moved at least 3 or 4 times.
Damn.
So that's why it lasted around 4 or 5 hours there. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because when he said that, I was like, so you guys just sat at a bench for 5 hours, and they're like, all right, next park.
Yeah, man. I mean, if we did that, people would have caught on. But then also when you're on LSD, you're paranoid as fuck, man.
So
You're just-
he didn't make it seem like you guys were that paranoid. Were you guys paranoid when you guys were at the parks?
Yeah, that's the stuff that no one likes to talk about when you're. No.
he didn't get
Yeah.
into that.
Thing is, man, the paranoia that can hit you while you're tripping is just out of this world. Like the people, like I'll try to calm them down. I'm like, bro, like they're just people walking at the park. You know, they're not working.
They're like, oh fuck, it's cop.
Yeah, you think everyone's out to get you or or
You
think
just
that
see
you're
an old
looking
lady
crazy.
like strolling her grandchild in a stroller, and you're just like, fuck, it's a cop.
Yeah, bro, you think everyone's out to get you, man. That's the thing.
So, on that trip, did you have like the same experience as Ben? How it went from really good trip to sort of a bad trip in the end of it?
Actually, not really me, cause that was his first time tripping, and that was my second time, so I kind of knew what to expect. But yeah, but what he's talking about is just a change of scenery. When we went to the other park, it was already around sunset. It was looking beautiful outside, but I think that was when he was starting to lose touch of reality. So that's what you can really call a bad trip, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going. You don't know what's going to happen. You know.
So have you had a bad trip?
I want to say bad trip. I would say weird trips. Like my mind is just.
It was like the weirdest shit you've seen. Like
Weirdest.
Yeah. Like some
Weirdest
Rick and
shit.
Morty type shit.
Yeah, weirdest shit I've seen. I was actually tripping 3 weeks ago. This is one of the weird things. We were tripping like throughout the night. Actually, it was a night trip. I like to trip in the daytime because it feels a lot more lively. But I was seeing eyes in the shadows of the trees. Like everywhere I looked was just like dark yellowish eyes, just like staring eyes, like staring at me, but like it wasn't all around me. It was only like you know how your vision focuses on one area, you can see all the detail. It was like that, and as I looked around, the eyes would follow my detail like in my vision. I mean, I knew what it was. It's just in my mind, like they're hallucinations. I didn't even tell my guy I was doing it with. I didn't let him know because I didn't want to spook him.
Yeah,
So I was
his
just,
trip, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, do you see? What would you have done if you said yeah? Like, you were like, dude, do you see those fucking eyes?
I mean, I would expect it because Martin actually told me about those eyes before. I'd never seen them until then. So I was like, so this is what Martin was talking about.
Maybe it's just something that the drug does to you, like at night.
Yeah,
Like, in general.
because really what it was, as I was thinking about it during the trip, because you can still think consciously, but sometimes you really lose like all thoughts of like you lose everything. But I was thinking about it during the trip. It was really just patterns of eyes, because the shadows of the trees were casting along the street lights. It's just a pattern that your mind makes while you're on acid.
I see.
It can get pretty scary, man. I'm telling you, but you just gotta know what's going on. Especially when you look at yourself in the mirror. Trust me.
You know what?
That's
The more and more I hear about it, even the scary shit, the more and more I kind of want to try it.
Really, man. People, everybody, even myself when I was in high school, I thought it was like, whoa, that's a hard drug. Like, what are you doing that for? But like when I did it, it's nothing. It's not way too much stronger than weed is. Like if you've been super high, like I was saying, sorry about that before that.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's actually not really that hard of a drug, man. The only thing is you've got to be in a good state of mind, and you've got to know what to expect. Really, you can't let it catch you off guard. That's the only thing. Just like alcohol, you're going in there expecting to get fucked up.
So,
Oh yeah, and they can last up to 12 hours, so forever.
Oh, that's why people take it during the day.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
that's
you won't be
what
able
I
to
was
sleep.
also like. Ben said, he said that he took it, and then he only got like. Who was the one that left that night? Was it you or was it?
That was Martin, dude.
Okay,
He's a
yeah,
savage
Martin,
for that.
I don't know.
He just drove home tripping
I
off
don't know how he drove
acid.
home, but
Man, we've actually driven a couple times on acid. It's crazy.
Dude, he's a
Martin's
fucking
crazy.
trooper.
Is it
His
like
respect
your-
level just went like.
is it like
Yeah.
you're
Holy
fucking going
shit.
fast as shit and like you can just?
I
see
mean, it
everything?
scares me when he's driving.
All right, we're back. Mateo had some technical difficulties living in the hood, rent free, but it's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. We're good now. Hopefully.
So
Yep,
what I-
got my hotspot on.
So what I was saying was, Martin left, then Ben got 4 hours of sleep. He had a good trip, then a bad trip, 4 hours of sleep, and then he goes and plays or pitches one of the best games that he said he ever has. How does that happen?
Man,
Do you think he
I'll
still
tell you,
was
man.
like on like was he somewhat still high off of it, or like how do you pitch a great game on 4 hours of sleep and having a trip?
All right. Well, the thing is, I'll tell you this, because it was pretty late. I felt really bad. 'Cause I was like, bro, you got to drive up to Chicago. I know you're not gonna get much sleep. He was like, bro, I'm good. And so I trusted him. He was gone in the morning. But the thing is, when you're on acid and you've done your trip, because we took it kind of early in the day, so it got time to process out of his body. But the thing is, when you sleep, that shit just like disappears. Like you wake up and it's gone. But the thing is, you only have that the day after come down kind of thing. But I guess he didn't have that, and it was just amazing for him.
Alrighty, Colton, you got any?
So I mean, it's definitely positive, man. It's possible. I mean,
Colton, you got any more questions on the whole story or any stories that Mateo has on his LSD trips or?
yeah.
Just when can I join, man? That's all I want to know.
Man, if finding it is kind of hard, man. But finding a good plug, it's usually like 10 a tab, and that one tab will get you tripping, man. $10.
$10 a tab. That's
You know,
it.
I think everyone should try it, man. Just one time, when it hurt you, it might change your life. Change Ben's. He said that was his best day of his life.
Yeah, whenever I was down at the football field with him, and this dude was like preaching that. I was like, you just gotta try it. It'll change your life. It's like I've never done. It's like nothing I've ever done before. Trust me, you gotta try it. I was like, not right now. Right now, I'm in a good state. I'm doing a lot of shit. I don't need to try anything right now. But
Yeah, I feel you, man. I respect that too. Like, everybody knows themselves and know what they want to do. That's it.
so moving on. Was it yesterday or was it Sunday that you were that Kinky had their big protest?
Dude, it was
that
like
was-
2
that was-
days.
Yeah, that was actually yesterday.
It was
Yeah.
yesterday.
It was.
So since you were actually there, and so I got a couple questions. Or should I ask you some questions, or should I have you just say your experience, how you had on it, like throughout the protest?
I'm kind of bad at explaining experiences. Oh, did Colton have? Is Colton still there?
Yeah, he just doesn't move sometimes, you know. He's a big rock body.
Oh gosh.
But,
Oh yeah, I'm chilling. I'm
So
chilling.
I'll ask you.
I'm a little tipsy, man. Just let me go. Just let me be.
So it was a peaceful protest, right?
Yeah, it was everything peaceful, man. There's only thing you could say was kind of wild was just people doing wheelies on their ATVs and dirt bikes.
I've
Really,
seen that.
everything is peaceful. There's nothing but love there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did it start out peaceful, and then everybody just started to have fun as they got there, like towards the end of it.
Well, yeah, during protests like that, you've got your quad riders and ATV riders. They're from Hopkins. They're from Hopkins, from Kankakee, from everywhere really. It was just everyone who had a quad really that was out there, like all skin colors. I'm saying, but during you can have a peaceful protest. You're just gonna have those guys just showing out, getting some attention.
Those Antifa fucks.
No, I didn't see any Antifa anybody there.
Did you see a bunch of Minnesota license plates though?
No, actually not.
Because that's what I was hearing. I was hearing that there's like a bunch of them down there.
Yeah, I'll try to
over there, I guess.
I'll try to go into that in a bit.
Yeah.
So, how were the cops in the whole situation with the whole protest and everything?
Well, I actually got off work before I actually started walking with them because I was at Harbor Freight and I seen them walking down Route 50. I was like, whoa, it's a nice little protest. I want to join them, and I'm off work. And we got off early because everybody was all spooked because they were worried about riots. But the whole thing was peaceful all the way down to Poor Boy where it stopped, where everybody gathered around,
Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle that owns it said it was fucking crazy.
Or
not my uncle, my cousin.
What was crazy was just the amount of people there, but it was all peaceful. Traffic was stopped. The cops escorted us all the way, from like.
I mean, he said it was crazy, like with the amount of people that were there, like just supporting it.
Yeah, they were just walking. People were riding their bikes with us. A few chants here and there. People had their posters. We had their cars. And then the thing is, people made the traffic worse because they wanted to see the protest happen. So the traffic's going to be worse because of that.
Yeah.
What are some of the best chants that you heard there? Like hands up, don't shoot.
Really?
Did you hear that one at all? That's like the
I
classic.
didn't hear that.
Like, that's the classic protest chant right there.
I know that what they were saying is no justice, no peace, though.
Ooh, I fucks with it.
Yeah, no justice, no peace. We had the hand up, Fist
I like the fist in the air.
Just cops were trying to dispel us, try to get rid of us. They were all helpful, man.
So the only problem I have, I get the peaceful protests. I get I like everything. Yeah, equality, 100%. The rioting is the only part that strikes me as that's just the only part I don't get. Protests, yes, that should happen, and then they should be able to fight for equality, 100%. Just the rioting and the Antifa is the only. I don't understand that part.
I don't really think. The only thing I gotta say on that is I don't even think that it's the people that are trying to protest that are doing that shit. It's the people that are trying to exploit it, that are trying to exploit it for free gain, like Antifa to do it. That are coming down here from Minnesota or from anywhere, from Chicago, to just get personal gain off of it and be an instigator, pretty much a middleman, and then it's fucked up.
Yeah, because from what I've been hearing is that it's...
Yeah, there's actually a lot of that happening in Chicago.
Yeah, that's why they called in the National Guard for a night, I think it was.
Yeah, because it's...
Yeah, thing is around here, man. I don't think a riot or anything would happen unless there was actually a police brutality case here in Kankakee. we don't have many stores to rob like that, you know.
Well, that's the thing with them with Chicago coming down, because it was most likely Antifa, right, coming down from Minnesota to Chicago.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know if it was that. I think it started off as like Black Lives Matter and like movements like that, but it was not even only Antifa, just like some douchebags that were trying to like be instigators and be like, oh, this cop is like a pig because he's a cop, or like shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
there was actually instigators, like groups of people from all colors, like white, Mexican groups too, even black ones too, you know. But they're not part of the protest, the peaceful protest. Like Black Lives Matter, the people marching.
Yeah.
Those people instigated, came in groups and started throwing rocks in stores and started setting off everything, and that's how we got a divided country right now.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of the time to have a divided country, is probably one of the worst times too. Everybody's all pent up.
Yeah, we need solidarity.
But,
all I know is in like 20 years there's gonna be a movie. It's titled 2020. It's gonna be a great movie.
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt there'd be a movie, or this will be in the history books.
I just want Johnny Depp to play me.
Play you.
What the hell?
Or Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
But
man,
he's
it
a little
was
too
just
old for
amazing
that.
seeing. It was amazing seeing the solidarity out there here in Kankakee, so close to home, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I wasn't surprised that it eventually happened in Kankakee, because Kankakee's majority is just African American, so I wasn't surprised for it to happen. I was glad that it was also peaceful and there was no riots too.
Yeah, man. I mean, every person of color was there, man. Like,
Which is good.
like white people showed out. Yeah. Like how Colton asked me before the podcast. He said, would they have seen me differently? Nah, man. If you just go up there, show your support for like just justice along the whole justice system. Like,
Yeah, man. That's why when I saw that on your story, I was like, hey, man, let me go up there with you. Like.
Yeah, even Ben thought the same thing, but he realized it was just nothing like that. It's just coming out to support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to get in the matter of why the protests are a thing and everything that, so since everything happened in Minnesota, what happened to George Floyd, what are your thoughts on the whole thing that happened up there with the police, the actions?
Well, thing is, man, in Minnesota, they were actually the cops were actually still like firing on protesters. Actually, that was more relevant in Louisville in Kentucky. The cops actually shot a few protesters. Yeah.
Did that happen
that's
in Chicago
making it worse, but
I don't think they shot at him. I think they threw like tear gas when they brought in the National Guard. But
yeah, tear gas and rubber bullets. I'm pretty sure, but I know there is a confirmed death in Kentucky right now. But yeah, they gave the officer third degree murder, which we don't think is really like that much justice, because that's like an accidental kill, like, you know,
and he's gonna be out. He'll be out.
The only reason they did that, and I'm not like trying to like enforce it or anything, I think he's still like a piece of shit and he deserves whatever he's got coming to him. But like the only reason that they called it third degree was because the autopsy said it was a heart attack. Like that's that was his official cause of death. Yeah,
that was actually ruled out too, because they did a third party autopsy, and they found it as a homicide. So that's why people are like rushing for second degree right now.
He deserves it.
That's why they're saying there still is no justice right now. We're still protesting out.
Yeah.
I don't.
He deserves whatever he's got coming to him.
He shouldn't be able to get out of jail, just for what he like, and for the whole equality to happen and for to actually get a change. I don't feel like he should be able to get out of jail, or at least second degree, if anything.
Yeah, he needs to be held. He needs to be held accountable just as much as any other person that done a similar crime would do. You know, would get. I mean.
And then the thing with him going to jail, there's no way he's gonna be able to be with the public at all. He's gonna have to be in confinement. Or else
I don't think they should. I think they should just let him
he'll die in
get the fuck beat out of him. Like, he deserves it, man. He just killed an innocent man for no other reason than he's black.
Yeah, no, and you could hear if you've seen the video and you hear the cries out for help and you hear just people yelling, it's awful just hearing. It's heartbreaking, really, just hearing what the
Yeah,
guy just
so
pleading for his life and no, they're not budging.
yeah, he deserves whatever he's got coming to him, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and even with that, with all the yelling and screaming, like it sucks that there's I forget what it's called, where a policeman can't go on his partner's back, but it sucks that they most likely knew that it was wrong, but they can't go against their partner's back just because it's cop law.
Yeah, definitely. Like the other three haven't been held accountable yet. That were on top of them also.
Yeah, which I don't know what'll happen with that. That's that's my choice. So somebody else can decide on that.
Yeah,
that's not
definitely. Yeah.
Only God can judge.
It's definitely a crazy time for this to happen during Corona, as it's ending. So we might we might have to stay inside for longer, but
Yeah.
Well, it's not ending. It's just like simmering down.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, man. We're still waiting on that second wave that they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it would be 2020 for that to happen. It has to line up perfect in timing for. Just as it's about to end, it peaks right back up. So that's just in.
All right, but would you rather it be like 2020? It's like the end of the year, coronavirus. We get a vaccine. 2021 comes and then this happens like right at the beginning of 2021, or would you rather it all like just be in one?
Honestly, I don't know because.
I mean, I would rather none of it happen at all. But like, well, I mean, if you have to choose,
it's good that this happened because most likely out of this, there's gonna be equal rights because it's invoking change all the cities. Yeah, so it's good that it happened. Right now, I don't know. I don't know how to.
Well, it's not good that a guy died, but died. But I mean,
the movement behind it.
The movement's good. Like,
yeah, it's good that it was really just pent up.
It's good that 200 plus years of suffering is finally being answered for.
Yeah, man, it's 400, man. Especially with the cases of Ahmaud Arbery, the lynching that happened in Georgia, man. They just killed him. Did you guys see that video?
Yeah, it's fucked up.
They even had a guy just recording him, like it's basically a snuff film, just killing the guy. Yeah. And there wasn't many protests after that, but there was just still demonstrations. But after what happened with George Floyd, that was really just the last straw for the year, and we've just had enough.
Yeah, my opinion on it all is that it's not like whites versus blacks or white Mexicans and blacks versus whites. It's everybody versus a racist piece of shit.
Yeah,
so.
I've been seeing that. I've been seeing that everywhere, and that's.
So.
I like when people are starting to say that because it shouldn't be race versus race. It shouldn't be men versus female. It should just be everybody versus one thing. So that they're putting it all against the people that are the main people that are for it. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and races come in all colors, man. All colors.
Oh yeah. I meant some racist ass like Hispanic people, especially where we live.
Yeah. You'll find racist ass people of every color, man. They hate each other. People just hate each other.
All right. To get on a little bit of a much lighter topic, I've seen on Twitter you were starting to get into some stocks. How's that whole thing going for you? Because I personally want to start getting into them, but how's that going for you?
Yeah, man. I actually use Robinhood. It's an app. I'm sure one of you might have heard of it at least. I started out because I got my tax return earlier this year. I didn't do anything with it yet. I decided, you know what? Let me see what Robinhood got. And plus, it came at the perfect time because that's been around March when this whole stock market crashed. So all the stocks were free game for me. I was basically, I was looking at the companies that. Yeah, I was looking at the companies who could stay afloat during the time of no revenue,
Yeah.
So, and the company I invested in was Norwegian Cruise Line, and they could stay afloat for another 18 months. So I invested all my money there. Really,
that was a nice pun right there.
What was that?
Because they're a cruise line, they can stay afloat.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, if the cruise lines, because they're going down. And then once everything starts picking back up again, they're just gonna shoot right back up because people are gonna want to go out. So I mean, that's gonna be a good investment.
If you don't mind me asking, how much money did you first invest in your? I don't want to ask like your total earnings because that I don't want to. I don't want you to like kind of dox what you're making like in your salary or whatever.
I'll be honest with you, man. I invested $816 into it. It's not much. I wish I could invest a lot more, but it's just doing what I got, man.
Yeah.
Amen.
But I bought 54 shares at $15, and then as you've seen, it went up to $916. So I made around $200 on my initial investment. So that's just waiting. Yeah, I took a big L because it went down further after I bought it. So my money that I invested went down to $600. But after being patient and just having trust in this company that they'll go back up slightly, it paid off.
Yeah, it's gonna keep paying off because I mean it's just gonna keep going up as this starts to end. But
yeah. Definitely.
I mean, I
want to close out that position actually and invest in a stock that gives out dividends 3 to 4 times a year.
Oh yeah,
so it's like a passive income thing.
Yeah, man, I might have to give that app a try, man.
Yeah, man. Thing is, just do a lot of research on the company, and you got to have a good sum of cash to invest. I'd say at least 500.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're really just wasting your time, man. Unless you got a killer penny stock, you're just wasting your time with $500.
Hey man, I'm working full time, so I got some money that I could probably invest right now. So
definitely, man.
It's a great time to invest too, because as it's starting to come up.
Yeah, it's starting to come up, and I think we're gonna hit a peak before if we ever get a second wave of coronavirus. There's gonna be a peak before that. Where you can stuff your money and then
dude, from fall you're gonna be fall's when they're talking like it's gonna peak again, so you might be rolling in some sweet dough come fall.
He'll be able to grab it out and then put it back in when it's lower. So
yeah, definitely, because you sell them all, you just sell them all at that peak where you think right before it crashes, or right when you get news of another outbreak in America, or just anywhere else in the country. Say China got another outbreak. There's actually been news about that, so I've been keeping an eye on that because I'm just waiting for the second wave to hit, man.
Yeah, because they've been like they're full blown. They can do whatever they want, walk around, move around. So if they get another outbreak, it'll spread like wildfire.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
but I'm waiting on that, man.
So we went golfing this past weekend.
Oh yeah, me, you as in Cole, Dom, and Sir Bennett John. So we all went golfing.
So Mateo, weren't you on the golf team in high school for a short time?
Nah, man, actually.
So we went out. I haven't golfed in about 10 years. Dom's never golfed in his life. I think Colton.
2 years of like not touching a golf club, and when I touched it, I was still fucking ass.
Yeah,
so.
probably the same for Ben, but we decided to not get golf carts, and then we played 18 holes, not get golf carts. No. How much
money did we save, Cole?
Well, we saved $20 in total.
Yeah.
But we had to walk. I mean, we got.
And you can have like what, 2 people for a cart, so that could have been me and you pitching $10, and Dom and Ben pitched $10.
Because I mean, you walk from you drive and then you walk down to the green, and then the next one's right next to it. So it's not really that bad, but we were getting we had to let tons of people just go past us because we were going so slow. And then, dude,
it was wasn't it like 5 hours?
Yeah, we golfed from 10:30 to.
Well, it was earlier than that because we hit the driving range before.
Yeah, so we went at
it was at least 5 hours, dude. We left at like 3:30.
Like 3 or something. It was crazy. So yeah, next time, because we're gonna golf this weekend, we're definitely getting carts.
Definitely getting carts this time, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of hyped.
Slide out, man.
I'm kind of hyped, man. I bought a $300 set of clubs, but
Jesus.
I bought two cute little fits to wear there, some little golf fits.
We're gonna be out there Sunday.
Bought a nice little glove for my blister hand that happened that time, and it wasn't pleasant. So I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah, man. I was a champ at miniature golf. I was a champ at miniature golf.
Yeah, shoot Colton a text this week sometime if you want to come out with us, because I mean there was groups of like 6 or 7 or 8, and they were in front of us. They were just dicking around, and we eventually passed them. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, me and Ben will have you guys out there just cracking up.
Are those the See Ya jack-offs that when they were in their carts, they drove, we let them pass us, and they were like, "See ya."
Yeah, they're like
fucking assholes.
I was like, oh my.
Damn, they're trolling you guys.
Yeah, because I think we were the only people that didn't have a cart.
Just to save
Pretty
some money,
much.
man. Just to save some cash.
Yeah, we're definitely. I don't care.
$20 though, it ain't worth it, man.
Yeah,
You can get $20 any day, man.
after the first 9, we were like, all right, let's get something to drink, something to eat, and then Colton was like, man, a cart would hit different right now, and we were like, yeah, but we got like 9 more. It definitely would have been good to got a cart. Those last 9.
Even after the 9 more.
The last
9
was so bad. There was
Dude, when me and you went to go buy like drinks, I was contemplating just like leaving you guys and buying a cart and not giving a fuck. I was contemplating, like in my head, I was just like, dude, I really want to buy a cart, but I really don't want to look like a douche, so I'm not gonna buy a cart.
Yeah, which course was it at?
Aspen.
right by the mall.
Oh, got you. Damn.
Yeah.
Shit, are they expensive or something over there?
It's like $25 for 18 holes.
For each person, and then we decided to hit early, like just practice, and it was like $6 for like a bag of like I think it was like 40 balls or something like that.
All in all, that day, I think I spent like $30.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Got you.
And I bought a Gatorade, a Mountain Dew, and a Twix. So.
So is that the only golf course that's worth a damn?
No, Mini Maness is really good too.
That one's probably like it's like the lowest tier like around here, but it's like it's easy to go just over to Bradley and just go there.
Yeah.
Got you.
But since we decided to golf for like 5-6 hours, by the time we got done, Dom had to leave for a barbecue. So as soon as we got done, he was gone, and then we decided to dip, and we were like, Culver's, a nice shake and a burger would hit different. Go over to Culver's, and since all the looters were coming down from Chicago, everything's closed, so we can't go to Culver's.
Oh yeah, that was the day.
Yeah,
that was the
so
day.
As soon as we go to Culver's, it's closed. As we're leaving home, Dom sends us a text in our chat, and he goes, "Look," and then there's like a giant square around the mall, and it says "Looters are by the mall." As soon as we're like on our way over,
and there was like a little tiny bit that was inside of Aspen, like a little smidge that was in Aspen. Like on the back end of it, like the back corner.
Yeah. They were just trying to rob the mall with nothing in there.
Yeah, that mall's gone. There's nothing in there. But
Jesus,
yeah, as we're going, so then we go home to Moments. Colton and Ben get something to eat from Burger King, and I get to get a drink. Drink's gone by the time we go to Dairy Queen, and that's just right around the bend. And then we go to Dairy Queen, and then we get shakes, and then Dairy Queen's about to close as we get the shakes too. So we got at least we got the shakes.
Come on, Cole, they're blizzards, dude.
Yeah, blizzards.
Yeah, dude. Everybody was going nuts, man. There's a lot of fear mongering about the riots, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't as scared because I knew they wouldn't come to Moments, because.
Bro, you know how many guns we have in our house? I'm not scared at all.
I mean.
I live on the outskirts of Pembroke, bro. They're not coming out here. I don't care. I'm not scared.
Yeah,
if they do, we have like guns out the ass.
Some easy licks, man. They're just looking for some nice stores. You know, can break a glass, get something real quick. They're not really looking to do home invasions.
Yeah, especially not Moments. There's nothing here too. It's just gas.
Right. Exactly, just gas stations. Jesus.
I mean, there is a bank.
Yeah, and we do.
Man, that bank's been licked like 5 times.
It'd just be another. Well, I mean, there's a cop car outside the bank, but.
Dude, there was a cop car like around every corner.
Man, I'm just glad the state police all around KKK was like supporting us, really, man. I'm glad there wasn't no police state out there, like police military state out there, you know.
Yeah, that's
full gear. I'd be hurt.
That's the crazy thing, because a lot of people tend to back down once the military comes. So, I don't know how people are gonna react once they come in.
Do you think you would have backed down, Mateo, if the military came?
Say the military's like front line right in front of you guys.
We're just been like, alright, I'm gonna head out.
We just hold the ground unless they start firing tear gas at us, you know.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just like, alright, I'm gonna head out.
Like peacefully, just like stand or like kneel really in front of them. until they start firing at us.
You post for a dope news picture, picture, and then
I mean, maybe Instagram,
Something iconic,
try to give an officer a hug for a Twitter video, and then if he like beats you over the head with the gun, you're just like, "All right, man, I'm gonna head out."
Yeah.
I mean, you got your clip, got your 1 million likes.
For real, man. Got my 1 million likes. I'm about to leave with my life.
Do you guys see that dope video of the sheriff of Flint, Michigan?
Yeah, coming out.
Yeah, man, he was like, I want to turn this protest into a fucking parade. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And then, like, he got all of them, like, together. Dude, that was dope.
Yeah.
Well, that needs to start happening all across so that the movement actually happens. If the movement happens and then it just slowly dies, then, I mean...
He's like, I'm here with you all.
Yeah, that has happened. So as long as it doesn't die, it'll most likely be changed, but it has died in the past. But this is just on a larger scale.
Yeah, this is all around the country, man. Now, there's been total opposites of that, where in Kentucky, where they've had a horrible response to the protest. Even the police chief resigned because of that, because after the death, really, then when they killed a protester, he was unarmed too, so he resigned after that. He's tired of this shit.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Can't blame him.
I know. My friend's from Louisville, and he didn't say anything about Louisville being wild like that, so that really shocked me. I was like, what the fuck?
The only place, and that there is a lot of racists in Texas, I just don't know how they're going to get Texas to change. Because they have guns, so... They
literally have they made signs to put outside of their homes that say, we don't call 911.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how they're gonna get Texas.
Just leave Texas alone. Let that be the one racist state. Like, fuck racism.
I've actually seen a video of a guy out there open carrying, like counter protesting against the protesters, and they were like screaming at him, put down the gun, and when he finally did, they attacked him. Like, they tackled him. He got beat up. The cops had to help him. He was out there with a gun, like provoking people. What did he expect was gonna happen? He was by himself.
He was provoking people. Yeah.
Yeah, he was by himself too.
And he's kind of a dick. So I was gonna say, I was about to say, like, well, what did you expect him to do? Like, not bring a gun, and then he said he was provoking people, just being a dick. So yeah, good on you, protesters.
He had an AR-15 out there.
He did have an AR-15?
Yeah, it was in Texas,
Damn,
man.
He was ready to unload a clip on their ass.
Like a handgun. Oh my.
No,
he was ready to unload a whole clip on there. He was ready to go Nicholas Cruz on their ass.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
God damn. That's fucked.
Yeah, but he got beat up because of that, man. I mean, there's protests in these pro-gun, like states. Thing is, it's about who's trying to open fire on one another, Like, they're trying to be peaceful.
Yeah.
I mean, they're peaceful until Antifa comes. As long as Antifa's there, then I think the movement will happen. But if they come in, they're gonna ruin. Which is I don't know why they would, but they're gonna ruin the movement if Antifa comes.
Yeah, because they don't care, dude. They just care about themselves and getting profit out of it.
They're anti-fascist and they hate the president because they see him as a fascist, and they're just communists, really.
Well,
yeah.
Didn't you say that Antifa is like a terrorist thing?
Yeah, Trump classified them as a terrorist organization. Which good on you, man. Like, about time you did some shit about the fucking
that's crazy
protest. Did you see the White House went completely dark because there was people outside of it?
Yeah,
that's the first time it's happened in like over 50 years.
Wait,
it's crazy because there was like protesters all outside of it. They moved the president to a bunker.
They were going crazy.
They moved the president to a bunker, and then they literally shut down everything in the White House. Like, it went completely pitch black.
That's weird.
Yeah, man. They were getting violent in D.C., so that's why they did that.
Yeah.
Thing is, man, I would like to go to Chicago and protest with them. But thing is, with the more people like that, there's higher chances of looters because there was pallets out there with bricks. Like people say Antifa put them out there.
Yeah.
Some people said it was. Some people were speculating that it was the government, but it's just gonna happen.
Yeah, that's gonna happen with everything.
Yeah.
They're gonna speculate it was the government.
I mean, did you guys see that video with the guy with the sword? He got beat up.
No, I didn't.
That was fucked.
It looked like he died, man. They
That was
jumped the
fucked.
fuck out of him. Yeah. They said it's because he had a sword like next to a 16-year-old. Like he was trying to defend against looters, but they circled around him, beat him up. He looked really fucked up, man. He looked like the guys off of Family Guy, you know, when they fall, like all
like the
wrapped up
chicken.
and stuff. Yeah.
When Peter's fighting the chicken.
It was fucked up though because he had blood pooling out of his head, like so it looked like he died, man. But these
I mean, yeah, because they really only care about themselves.
Happening.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, because when they're looting, they're just trying to make a come up real quick, you know.
Yeah.
No cops out there. It's just what they're gonna do.
No cop, no stop, I guess.
All right.
So what are you saying, Colin?
You can go. I was just gonna say I don't have anything left.
Me and Mateo both got a nice little story to tell.
I'm out of things till I can think of some more.
So I think you should tell your story of you being the person actually locked in there, and then I should tell my story of one of the people that locked you in there.
Yeah, man. It was Mr. Evans' class. Anybody who's listening, I'm sure you can picture that. You can picture his class in the little bathroom that he has in there.
That wood shop.
I was going there just.
Because here's how our school works for people that aren't there. So it's the basement, a floor, and then another floor. And then the basement used to, like, way back in the day, the basement used to be the cafeteria. So they have this random-ass bathroom, like, just down there, like in the wood shop room.
It's not a bathroom like you think it's a bathroom.
Yeah, it's like a 1930s shitty bathroom, okay?
The room with a toilet.
Yeah, basically.
Closet with a toilet.
And one other chair that will play a key role in this story. Alright, so keep going with that.
Alright, man. I went in the bathroom, the little closet room / bathroom. I was just going in there to drain my main vein, and then I had the door closed, and they were sneaky as hell, and they put I want to say a screwdriver through the lock, man.
It was a screwdriver and then a chair that we like shoved under the actual handle, and then we put a screwdriver in the lock.
Yeah, and I tried to open the door. I was like, these motherfuckers, they really did not do this shit. I wasn't gonna fold for that shit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I grabbed this bar. This bar was probably like 4 feet long, man. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, boom! I hit the glass right next to the doorknob. Hit the glass. I looked out. People are fucking shocked. Their mouths are fucking to the ground. And I pulled the thing out. I'm like, get me the fuck out of here. And I pulled the thing out and I opened the door. And then Mr. Evans just throwing a fit at me when I'm the one that was locked in there. He was like, you fucking moron. And then I was like, what the fuck did I do? These motherfuckers were the ones that locked me.
And then when he like sent us all back, he's like, get to your chairs. And then he was like still mumbling some dumb old person shit. And then Mateo was like, well, maybe if you would get your fat ass off your chair and monitor your class.
Yeah, man, I was upset, man. I had to say what I had to say to him, man.
He was like, well, maybe if you would get your fat ass off your chair and monitor your class, none of this would have happened.
Right.
He was like, you just heard, get out.
Yeah, he just said, get out, you moron, or something.
And then I was like, wait, why the fuck are you kicking him out? He was the one that got locked in with his own shit, and then he kicked me out. And then Miguel said the same thing, and he kicked him out. And then I went up to, I think it was Major Giza. I went up to him. I was like, because he was talking to you in the office, and I was like, Major, I saw the whole thing, and they just locked him in the bathroom after he got done taking a poop, man. And it wasn't his fault. He had to get out. Like, they literally just locked him in. He's like, who locked him in? I was like, I didn't see. Even though I was one of the one that locked him in.
Right.
Because I didn't want you to get in trouble for some bullshit. And then he was just like, okay. I don't know if he got in trouble for that or not. But
the thing is, I didn't get anything that happened to me. Mr. Graham was actually cool with me. He said he walked over to me like,
it was Graham.
Yeah, he walked over to me, patted me on the back, and said he just had a bad day.
Because
I
he
was like,
loves me,
nice.
dude. And I was like, dude, I know if I talk to him, he's not gonna do shit to Mateo. And then I went up to him. I had like a 5-minute conversation of what the fuck happened. I was just spewing some bullshit to him, and then he bought it, I guess.
So did Major give you one of his
Hell yeah, it was.
military talks?
Who, me?
Dude, it was fucking you and
No.
Tyler Worrell, man.
Did Major give either one of you guys one of his military talks? Well, when you guys went over
No, it was
Nah,
only
man.
Major. It was only Mr. Graham.
there? Oh, it was okay.
I think Rounds was in there too, but it was Mr. Graham and Rounds. But yeah, it was,
And Mr. Evans was pissed that nothing happened to me.
yeah, because I was like, dude, I can't just let nothing. I can't just let something happen to him, man. Like we locked him in with this shit. Anybody would do that.
For real, just break out.
Yeah, man.
It was fun breaking that glass, bro. It was rewarding.
It's so funny seeing Mr. Evans when he used to drive that tiny little blue car.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd see him.
Dude, they used to flame him, bro.
He'd get
They
out
used
of
to call him a
school.
fat idiot.
He'd basically take up both seats and he would just cruise like he'd fucking nail it right down 2nd Street, fucking like 40, 50 miles an hour.
Dude, he swear he was a shit in that little thing, man.
So the one
Wonder
thing
what he's doing with his life now.
the one thing I remember with that bathroom was a certain girl had a certain good time in that bathroom, and I think you were the one that walked in on it, weren't you?
Me, nah, I didn't walk in anything, but she told me all about it, man. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just
Dude, she
saying-
told our whole English class all about that.
yeah. She
Yeah,
told me all about it.
Man,
Yeah.
Wish I was the one in there,
our
honestly.
school was fucked. What about the time that we like a whole group of us got faded as fuck before the senior trip?
Oh my.
Oh yeah,
Miss,
Remember
oh,
that?
wait, are you talking about Miss Burns' trip?
No,
Or
that
the
and
Sky
the
Zone.
actual like senior trip,
Sky Zone
like
one?
to the bouncy house place.
Oh my
yeah, both of them.
Dude, I think I smoked like part of a bowl with you, like right before.
Bro, I was
Like-
in my car. It was me and my ex-girlfriend at the time. We were just smoking a little bit. It was
Oh
loud in
yeah,
the
'cause
parking lot.
it was me and Bernardo. That's who it was. It wasn't
Yeah.
you. It was Bernardo because he brought edibles, and then he brought these edible gummy bears. And I was like,
Hell
fuck yeah. We took like 5 of them.
Bro, everybody who smoked at the time just had a good time there. I mean, it was a free for all, man. It was
And
awesome.
everybody knew-
So it was probably half the class.
All the people who were high knew like who was high.
For real.
I think
Everybody
who it
knew.
was. I think probably some of the teachers did, but you know, I mean,
Oh, I told Miss Ader I was. She's
What
like,
the hell,
Colton,
what'd
you
she say?
seem she's like, you seem a bit off. I was like, Miss Ader, I'm high as fuck. She's like, no, you're not. I was like,
Right. She looked at you. She's like, "No, you're not. Stop."
I was like, all right, Brenda, whatever you say, man.
the time I remember from the Miss Burns trip was when we went to the theater, and we sat in the front row. Our school had to sit in the front row.
Bro,
Brody,
Colton was complaining the
Miguel,
whole fucking time.
dude,
Yeah, because I had to sit next to Miss Burns' sweaty pits and shit. Like, what the fuck?
There was
Nobody
probably
wants to
a-
sit next to that.
There's probably
And I
like
was high. Like,
There's probably like a good 7 or 8 people in the front row passed out during this show.
I know.
remember when she spit on him? And Brody was like, what the fuck?
There's all
Bro, they were
these-
spitting on everybody.
There's all these Catholic schools, and then we're just here, moments all passed out, high as fuck, watching. I was dead that whole show.
For real, man.
And
I
then,
mean, it was nice, but I was tired as fuck.
and then Sky Zone when everybody was. Oh my god, that was.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
that
almost
was a
broke
fun
my
time.
neck at Sky Zone.
Dude, playing dodgeball there, that shit was way too fun.
Hell
I
yeah.
know, man. I tried to do a backflip and I landed on my neck.
Hey,
I don't know if you guys seen that, man.
No, you tried to do a backflip and just.
Yeah, man. I didn't land it at all. I just pulled my body back and I just landed on my neck. I didn't do a full backflip. I thought
Dude,
like my neck just dude, is this TV just full?
I don't know what just happened with him. You good? Oh, he's muted.
Yeah, Mr. Rock Body.
All I heard was a loud bang.
Man, unmute yourself.
Yeah, you're still muted.
Good now?
Yeah, now you're.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to shut my windows because we turned the air on. So I tried to
Oh,
get it
yeah.
before the loud ass bang, but I missed it by like a millisecond. But it's fine.
I mean, it's good to see you still have your candle by your side.
Yeah, good old Randall.
Yep.
Randall the candle. He's a good guy.
Yeah, man. You guys should just do an experiment on the podcast. Just try acid and just film it.
Well,
Yeah.
On New
Try
Year's,
acid and film it.
On New Year's, we're gonna do a drunk podcast live.
Yeah, man.
So we're gonna,
We're gonna have like
dope.
all the guests
That'd be
like
dope.
there, like all like the guests. I don't know if you want to come, but I mean, you're obviously invited. But we're gonna have all the guests there, and we're all just gonna be hammering down some beers and doing like an actual podcast, just like live, like no cuts or anything.
Sounds like a good time, man.
So we'll see.
I was gonna smoke before the podcast, actually.
I mean, I'm already kind of like tipsy, so I
Yeah,
mean,
I think Colton does drink almost before every podcast.
dude, it's because I come home from a long ass day of just like fucking scrubbing carpets and shit, and like just want to fucking crack open a beer and
Yeah.
Just want to relax.
yeah, man. I just wanna trip on some acid.
For real, you should definitely.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yo,
Alright.
factory reset.
You guys got any other crazy stories you guys want to talk about?
I don't think so. I think I'm set on all the crazy shit that's happened.
Yeah, we don't want to put everything in one part, you know.
Yeah. Well, this is all gonna be. I think this is like this is just gonna be one part. I don't think we're gonna do two
Yeah.
parts of this.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't want to do everything in one episode, you know.
I don't think we're gonna do
Whole
two
life,
parts of this though. So.
But we can have Mateo on at a different time because.
Oh yeah, of course,
definitely
man.
have-
Of course.
Right now, we definitely can't think of it, but we've definitely got some shit to still talk about. So.
Definitely.
Yeah, if this isn't split into two parts, hopefully you guys did enjoy them. Good time having you on, Mateo. We had good talks.
Oh yeah.
Awesome here, man.
If you guys
It was a
did-
Hopefully
pleasure,
come
man.
back on with Bennett.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be one.
I mean, Ben
Yep.
basically comes on every once in a while, no matter what.
We were gonna actually have him come on if Dom wasn't able to record, but you saw what happened with that. It was like 10 minutes, and like right before, Dom just didn't
Yeah.
answer us again. So.
So, all right. It's good to have Mateo on. We had good talks. Mateo will probably be on again, probably with Ben,
Yep,
or maybe
most
just
likely.
a part two by himself. Other than that, we'll see you guys in the next one.